this particular program is for those students that are really just thriving in that online environment. And so what does that mean? They enjoy student-centered work. They enjoy customized learning pathways. They're curious.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 7, school officials are taking virtual learning a step further in Richmond County.
Now we're looking ahead to this weekend, which is Mother's Day weekend. Would you believe that? We're going to talk about that and our sunny, cooler conditions that are on the way coming up.
Also tonight, Georgia, the latest state to take up the debate over paying college athletes. Your news at 7 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 7.
And hello again, everybody. You are watching News Channel 6 at 7. I'm John Hart.
And I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us.
Tonight, we're learning more about the drownings of those two boaters on Clarks Hill Lake. Last week, the bodies of E.J. Kirk and Ian Wilson were recovered from the lake after a week-long search. Denisa Jefferson here now with those details.
That's right, John. The GBI and the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office are now investigating the deaths of E.J. Kirk and Ian Wilson. These 7 pages detail what investigators say witnesses told them happened to the men on Clarks Hill Lake. 13 witnesses are listed in the incident report. Investigators say witnesses told them Ian Wilson fell into the water and E.J. Kirk jumped in to save him. Their bodies were recovered by Georgia game wardens on Saturday. However, Wilson's family says a video has surfaced showing what appears to be someone pushing E.J. Kirk into the water. That video is now a part of the investigation.
As far as the investigation, we of course would want to see justice. We want to make sure that anyone who's held accountable for this is held accountable. Bottom line is that, EJ was pushed, and had it not been for that individual push, my brother probably would still be here.
While the investigation is ongoing, there are still many unanswered questions. I spoke to both families today, and they're hoping the investigation will provide some answers and hold whoever is responsible accountable. Back to you, John.
Well, Denisa, May is National Water Safety Month, and the Aiken Parks and Recreation Department is offering free swimming lessons. It'll be at Smith Hazel Rec Center. Registration is open now. Classes begin June 7th. All ages are welcome.
Starting tomorrow, masks will not be required in the city of Aiken. In a special called meeting tonight, city officials decided to do away with the current ordinance, which required the wearing of face coverings in businesses and facilities open to the public. Officials say the decision was made due to significant decline in the number of positive coronavirus cases in South Carolina. The city manager says last year's ordinance was to prevent and curb COVID-19 cases.
We were concerned about the potential strain on the hospitals with people being admitted. So face coverings, based on the data council had during that time, a majority of council believed that face coverings would help with lowering the spread of COVID-19.
The current mask ordinance expires at 6 a.m. tomorrow. We'll have a full report tonight at 10 and 11.
A Superior Court judge says the city of Augusta must release information involving 3 of the finalists for the fire chief job. Commissioners have named Antonio Burden as the sole finalist for the job after interviewing 4 candidates. 4 news organizations, including us, sued the city, saying the city needed to release the documents on all of the finalists, not just Burden. Some commissioners also critical of how the fire chief selection was handled.
What little bit of information we got on them, like about 35 hours prior to. I don't like the way that process was done, still don't like the way the process is done. It's the first time we've ever done it that way.
Judge says the city has 3 business days to release documents on the 3 other finalists, and the city must delay the vote on the fire chief for at least 14 days after those records are made public.
Well, the last 2 evenings we were together, we were talking about showers and storms. This evening, a far different story. 82 degrees, our high temperature today with a mix of sunshine and clouds. The average is 84, so we're certainly getting up there with the temperatures. 63 is where we started this morning. The average is 56, and we'll start to be closer to average as we get into the next few days here. Just a smidge of rain officially at the airport. 79 our current temperature, 77 in Aiken, Edgefield at 78. 78 in Millen with sunshine and just a few clouds out there. The winds have been fairly breezy today from the west-southwest. Pretty much now moving from the west, 18 miles per hour in Thompson, 19 Evans, 15 in Augusta. They'll start to die down here as we go through the evening time. And there goes that cold front well off now to our east. Drier air will start to move on in. Here's the two-state view. Starting to see some clearing skies near Atlanta and Athens. And this will be the clearing skies that will come through tonight and make way for a lovely day tomorrow. There's a baseball game going on, SRP Park, and that's the camera that's looking towards downtown. A beautiful view as the sun will be setting here in short order. 57 the overnight low for tonight. So partly cloudy skies, certainly cooler than we were this morning with those winds westerly at 5. 82 tomorrow, sunshine, an absolutely gorgeous day. And then this weekend, Mom, it's your day, and it's a great day for Mom. We'll blow kisses to Mom here with this forecast. Start off cool, upper 50s to near 60, and then we're into the upper 80s by afternoon time. We'll talk more about our weekend forecast and a look ahead to next week in just a few minutes.
All right, Tim, big change is coming to college sports in Georgia. Athletes will be allowed to make some money on their likeness. Chloe Salsameda explains.
College athletes spend hours training and devoting themselves to their team. Now those players you see on the court and the field could start getting paid. College athletes in Georgia could start making money soon. Governor Brian Kemp expected to sign this bill, allowing student athletes to be paid if their name, image, or likeness is used. But they won't have access to the money they earn right away. They'll have to wait at least a year after they graduate or withdraw from the school.
People argue that shouldn't a scholarship be enough. 30 or 40 years ago, that was probably comparable, but not in this day and time. Athletes are leaving early to go professional because they cannot afford not to take advantage of their marketability.
Governor Kemp is expected to sign that bill Thursday morning. It will take effect on July 1st. A similar bill is being proposed in South Carolina that still needs the signature of Governor McMaster. In Augusta, Chloe Salsameda, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Richmond County students will be able to learn from home during the next school year. It's part of a new online learning option. News Channel 6's Ashley Jones has the details.
It's the new normal for students out here in Richmond County. Virtual learning had proven to be a challenge for some students during the pandemic, but for others, it made learning a whole lot easier.
This particular program is for those students that are really just thriving in that online environment.
Students in Richmond County can now apply for a new online learning option known as eSchool.
They will log into their computers every day and have all of their instruction delivered to them through our Canvas platform. And do all of their work with their teachers.
eSchool is open to students in grades 6 through 12, but there is a limit to how many students that can participate.
We weren't looking for taking a test to get in. We're using a lottery system. We feel that we have the capacity to do 200 students at each grade level very well.
Those students will be picked through a lottery process. Dr. Cobb says there is some personal criteria that students should meet.
They enjoy student-centered work. They enjoy customized learning pathways. They're curious. They're naturally driven to make sure that they are disciplined to meet those student needs. And like deadlines, making sure you turn in your homework, because you have to be very disciplined to get up out of bed, still get dressed, and log in on time.
And if your child doesn't make the cut this year, they'll be added to a wait list. School leaders say the idea was in the works for several years now before the pandemic hit, but there was a lack of interest.
We put it out there as a part of our school choice program, and we just didn't have high interest.
eSchool will follow the same academic calendar as face-to-face students. There will also be a principal solely for online learning, and e-students will still be able to participate in all extracurricular activities, including prom.
And applications are open now through May the 28th. You'll be able to find a direct link to the application by finding this story on our website at WJBF.com. And there you will also find some other tips to help you and your student prepare for online learning. Here in Augusta, Ashley Jones, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Well, with more students online during the pandemic, schools and law enforcement officials have seen a spike in cases of child pornography, much of it nude selfies taken by students. more and more schools using advanced filtering software like Gaggle that checks school computers for sexual content, inappropriate language, and references to bullying, violence, or self-harm. One South Carolina district says each month it receives about 120 reports.
Those possible student situations are situations where students may, will get flagged for using words like cut, hurt, suicide, harm, that sort of thing. And so at that particular point, that's where definitely the follow-up goes. And then we have other situations where it's called questionable content. Those are more like using inappropriate language, and it gets flagged too as well.
School-issued Chromebook laptops there come pre-installed with Gaggle. The software monitors students' every action on the devices, both on and off school grounds.
Hey there, Georgia. I'm John Crow with your Cash 3, Cash 4, and Georgia 5 evening drawings. Hey, Georgia, now through June 8th, play the Cash 4 444 promotion. Go to cash4promotion.com for details. And now, let's play Cash 3. Your first winning number is 4. That's followed by 4. Your final winning number is 3. Again, if you have the numbers 4, 4, and 3, congratulations. Now let's head over and play Cash 4. Here we go. Your first winning number is 6. That's followed by 2. Up next we have 5, and your final winning number is 1. Again, if you have the numbers 6, 2, 5, and 1 in any winning combination, you just 1. On to Georgia 5. Here we go. Your first winning number is 0. That's followed by 1. Up next we have 7. That's followed by 8. And your final winning number is 9. Again, those numbers are 0, 1, 7, 8, and 9. Good luck and play on, Georgia.
A federal judge has struck down the national moratorium on evictions. He says the CDC's effort to help victims of the pandemic hold on to their homes exceeds the agency's authority and should be vacated. Congress ratified earlier extensions of the moratorium order, but has not done so for the latest extension, which expires on June 30th. The Department of Justice has filed an appeal to today's ruling. We're hours from the federal deadline for South Carolinians receiving certain types of unemployment benefits. Ayla Ferroni has the details.
An important piece of documentation is due to the Department of Employment and Workforce on Wednesday, but I'm told that at least 30,000 South Carolinians haven't filled it out yet. Federal legislation passed earlier this year now requires proof of employment previous to receiving Pandemic Unemployment Assistance or PUA benefits. It's something DEW has been asking for the past 90 days, but is still waiting to receive from many across the state. and the risks of not uploading or sending in the required documents are severe. Benefits will stop as early as next Monday, and claimants who fail to comply will have to pay back some benefits they received. This applies to anyone who received PUA benefits for any period of time between December 27th of 2020 and now. And DEW workers say the information they need is likely something many already have on hand.
That could be your W-2. If you were self-employed, that could be a business license. It could be a state or a federal tax return. And then if you were planned employment, that would be like an offer letter on letterhead from the company.
The DEW says it will review all files to confirm they have not received documentation before disqualifying complainants.
South Carolina House insisting the state continue to accept offers to sell Santee Cooper. The House and Senate did agree to get rid of most of Santee Cooper's board members who served during the failed nuclear reactors project back in 2017, but did not agree to remove a committee of lawmakers who would consider any bids to buy it over the next 10 years. With only 4 days left, the fate of the bill to overhaul the state-owned utility now going down to the wire. The Army Corps of Engineers is greenlighting the use of millions of dollars to protect fish in the Savannah River after the harbor deepening. Protecting marine life was the subject of a long legal battle that included the cities of Augusta and North Augusta back when the project was first proposed. Now the Corps says a new report on a dissolved oxygen system proves it will work to keep fish alive. Dredging lets more salt into the water and takes oxygen out, so I'm told. The Corps says it developed an oxygen system to satisfy environmental groups that had sued.
The settlement agreement said that we would test this injection system through the summer, which we did last year, and that we would file the report. We have satisfied those requirements, and we're moving forward. This harbor is finally going to be deepened.
This is a big deal in Savannah. Of course, Augusta and North Augusta were part of it because it has effects upriver. The system had to be considered successful before the dredging could be fully completed. The Corps says the system will operate this summer.
2 weeks ago, we told you about customers receiving unusually high water bills. Well, since then, News Channel 6 has heard from more Augustans with this same issue. Cassandra Lofton, who shared her high water bills with News Channel 6, says after it aired, Augusta Utilities installed a new meter at her home to help get to the bottom of her problem. Well, the company was already in the process of replacing all older water meters and updating the technology.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
And tonight, as the sun will be setting in just a little bit, it's a lovely evening. Current temperature 79 at Bush Field. Humidity at 60%. Winds down a little bit now from the west-southwest at 6, and the dew point 64 degrees. Remember yesterday it was like 70, 72. Very tropical air overhead, so just a little drier air moving on in, and we'll have more drier air tomorrow. Sunny, terrific Thursday, sunny, a fantastic Friday, and the Mother's Day weekend looking fine. Cool for Saturday, and then we'll get really warm as we head into Mother's Day itself. Rain and the humidity returns early part of next week. So the cold front that came through dry. Dry air aloft at the surface, barely any rain, just a few clouds. High pressure off towards the Midwest. That moves in for tomorrow. And you'll notice this cold front, well out here in the Plain States, that's rapidly headed our way. And that's going to come through dry on Friday to produce some showers off towards the west. By the time it gets here, basically no moisture to work with. Our skeeter meter tomorrow, about a medium. Don't forget, if you have any standing water in the yard, make sure you dump that out. You don't want those little boogers to be causing us any more issues than they're probably going to by summertime, right? 71 in Jackson, 75 Montgomery, and 88 down in Tampa Bay. All in all, relatively fairly nice for this time of evening. Birch, hickory, walnut, the pollen top allergies over the next couple days. The good news is, though, 7-8 tomorrow, and notice a 5-7 on the low scale for Saturday. We're going to keep things dry, as we have a dry front that moves in Friday. I think Saturday and Sunday's dry. The next week we'll introduce a chance of some showers Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday. And a look ahead for Mom. Mother's Day already coming up on Sunday. 87 degrees, so we'll be warm. We'll start off cool, so the air is still relatively dry, although the winds will pick up from the southwest. FutureCast tomorrow morning. It is going to be a lovely day. Notice the sunshine throughout the day. Great temperatures. Here comes cold front. Notice the storms with this front, but notice what happens as it moves closer to us. We'll lose a lot of that energy. Low pressure, by the way, will develop off the coast of South Carolina. And so if you're headed towards the beach, really just from Charleston all the way really up to about, I'd say, Wilmington, a little bit on the rough seaside for sure, and some showers. The front moves through Friday, fine for us. And that high pressure moves in coming up for the weekend. So tomorrow's fine, and so is Friday. Friday morning, maybe a cloud or two and a little shower, maybe off near Columbia, but that's about all she wrote. And noontime for us, simply gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful Friday, and it will just be delightful. We'll notice some cooler too as we get into Friday, Saturday. 57. The overnight low tonight, 55 in Aiken, some double nickels for Sparta, Gibson, and Thompson as well. 58 down in Swainsboro. 82 the high tomorrow. Simply a pleasant day. Waynesboro, you all about 82. 80 up near the lake. Just, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better. 78 for Friday. How about that? 49 for Saturday morning. I think we'll be up to about 80 on Saturday. Southwest winds will get us up to 87 for Mom. Beautiful day. And then a little bit more humidity and a chance of some scattered showers and storms before our next cool down, which will be the end of next week. Let's look at your forecast. We're back with more in just a moment.
House Democrats holding a hearing to discuss several of their bills promoting electric vehicles. They say their plans support electric vehicle infrastructure and ensure the manufacturing happens in the U.S. Raquel Martin reports from our D.C. bureau.
Everyone has to understand that electric vehicles are the future. That's coming from the auto industry itself.
Democrats are pushing multiple clean energy bills they say are designed to promote the manufacturing and sales of electric vehicles in the U.S.
To ensure we're ready for this growing demand, we must invest in the necessary charging and manufacturing infrastructures.
At Tuesday's hearing, Democrats and a slate of green energy experts insisted the measures are needed not only to meet President Biden's climate goals, but to beat competitors and create 21st century jobs.
Europe and China are implementing several of these policies already. We have some catch up to do.
But Republicans don't see it the same way. They say a push towards electric vehicles actually threatens jobs and makes the U.S. more vulnerable to China,
which controls 80 to 90% of the critical minerals that go into the EV business. The Clean Future Act puts the cart before the horse.
Michigan Republican Congressman Fred Upton says the U.S. must first secure its own electrical vehicle supply chain to ensure energy prices remain low.
The last thing we want to do is take away people's mobility and livelihoods by limiting options of affordable and reliable vehicles.
We don't really see this as a choice.
Josh Nasser with the United Auto Workers says while his union understands electric vehicle investments are needed, he expects lawmakers to make U.S. workers a priority.
We need to make sure that, these new jobs that are created are good jobs. From our point of view, the future is really on the line.
In Washington, Raquel Martin.
Tomorrow, Augusta Mayor Hardy Davis will join advocates and other Georgia officials for a virtual press conference to call for the strengthening of U.S. clean car standards and investments in what they call clean vehicle infrastructure.
Finally tonight, the Irish president's sizable puppy stole the show as his owner gave an interview to the country's national broadcaster.
As a keeping a straight face, Mishnak is a 7-month-old Bernese mountain dog to be seen nibbling at Michael Higgins' hand. Hello, I'm hungry. Get the press conference going. No more questions, please. This press conference was a tribute to an Irish actor who had recently passed. We will see you at 10.